There we go, brother.
All
Waiting
right,
for
all
sure.
right.
Do you see what they do to us? Listen, it means we have made an impact. Nobody robs an empty store. For show, jump back on. Nerd herd, everybody come back into the room. Nobody robs an empty store.
Okay.
Listen, they have tried to keep us apart forever. Okay?
Absolutely.
It means we are doing something. We have cracked the the realm of the demonic and the seal. We have cracked it. We have
Mm,
officially cracked that thing open.
wow.
And I know it is not lost on me that your sister is smiling down on you.
Thank you, sis.
Everybody was hanging on the edge of their chair. You hear me? And the entire CCNY 9, City College 9. Everybody is smiling down on you for doing
Mm,
that work. The ancestors are smiling down. Let me tell you something. This is huge right here. Look at how everybody is jumping back into the chat immediately. Nobody robs an empty store. What we are
mm,
doing is a faith walk, and I'm gonna let you get right back into it because everybody's hanging on the edge of the chair, including me. But I've told people over and over again, this is a faith walk. This is a master class in having faith and believing for God, suffering gladly, walking with dignity. I cannot tell you the tears in my heart when you were talking because our stories are almost identical. You hear
mhm,
me?
mhm,
Identical. That's saying to God, what did I do to deserve this? That living above reproach because you want to clean up any karma you may have put in. I've done all of that. I've said those words. I do you
mm,
know why the internet hasn't torn me up? Because ain't nothing there to tear me up with. People
mm,
have called me a goody two shoes my whole life. After I got shot, I said I will never give them a reason to be able to drag me. They
mm,
couldn't even make up a story because there's nobody to bolster it.
mm.
When I tell you I've lived, and I'm not perfect by any means, when I tell you I've lived above the fray my entire existence, my God, I'm telling you, I
Mm.
know what you are talking about. I've never felt so seen, so heard, so validated like listening to you. So the floor is yours, brother. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I wanna say real quick because when I start talking about City College, man, I just go.
The floor is
But
yours.
I just want to just stop real quick and thank my brother for show for
Absolutely.
connecting us. Um, I had a good time on his platform
Hmm.
because he lets you just go and
Yeah.
um and just get it out. And when we come on these platforms, we don't have notes, sis.
Hmm.
We don't have notes,
Hmm.
and we don't need notes
We don't.
because it's easy to tell the truth.
Baby, it rolls off your back like a water on a duck's back. I keep
Yes,
telling you that.
yes, it's easy to tell the truth. And I'm honestly, it's painful to tell this type of truth.
It is. It is.
Who wants to, you know? All right, let me continue
Mhm.
because these are things that even with the edit in the two documentaries, the Fall of Diddy and that other documentary, I don't even believe I shared these stories in the unedit, meaning they didn't just unedit me. I just didn't share it.
Mhm.
But since I've been watching all of this stuff and I watched the edits of those documentaries, um, I had to speak again because they create a narrative that really don't exist, and the narrative that they created with me was that I took $50,000 from Puff and for the wrongful death case of my sister. So remember that point.
Mhm.
I reached into that jacket. Right before I reached into that jacket, I zipped it real quick, zip,
Mhm.
and Puff jumped. And when he jumped, I wasn't concerned because I saw it was just him. He didn't have nothing in his hand. If his man was in the room, obviously I wouldn't have been able to do that. But his
Mhm.
man is right outside the room. When he jumped, as soon as he jumped and he came with a more calm posture, I pulled out the five and I handed him five wrongful death cases out of the nine
Mhm.
for those young brothers and sisters who lost their lives at that City College Stampede. Now, I told you that I went there by myself.
Mhm.
I told you that when I knocked on the door, my cousin's cousin opened the door and invited me in. So as it's happening, all I'm thinking is divine intervention.
Mhm.
Because I'm moving alone. I really didn't, I wasn't concerned. There was no Wolf, no Big Paul, no Big Gene. There was none of that in the mix. And guess what? Even if there was, I'm moving on the spirit of my sister. I feared nothing but God to begin with. So I had no problem going by myself. It was natural to do that. But the God just moved me in the house,
Mhm.
sat me on the couch, brought me in the basement. I hand puffed the papers. He thanked me. He said, thank you, son, for bringing these to me. I said, brother, that wasn't personal, man. But the attorneys was telling me that they were having problems serving you, and my mother was upset because it's holding up the litigation.
Let
And
me
he
ask
said,
you
no,
a
I'm
question,
here.
Sonny. Do you think that
Yeah,
was intentional, his refusal to accept the service?
he was
'Cause I
running.
believe-
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And listen, I can, the popular word nowadays is allegedly,
Mhm.
because he ain't tell me he was
Listen,
running from him. But
I, I'm not an
my
alleged queen. Speak your piece here. We got the First Amendment on this channel.
listen, man, listen, they can sue me tomorrow. They just gonna get a whole bunch of maybe karate trophies. Because that's
Listen,
all I got.
hey,
So I ain't got no money. So just bring it. But for the sake of me not having a conversation with Puff about running, guess what? Sonny made it there. So I drove to Scarsdale. I served that brother for the other 5 families. Litigation began. And like I said, I wasn't slamming him. I wasn't slamming Hev. I wasn't slamming nobody. I was allowing the process to take place. But I was part of that process to get the case moving because the 5 families was having issues. I left that house and I continued to try to do things in memory of Sonia and the other 8 people. Puff tried to connect me with Sister Soldier. At the time, somewhere in that time frame, he started to do Daddy's House. Now, that was his foundation. Um, Allegedly, he was paying himself 50,000 per year, and he was paying Sister Soldier 50,000 per year from that foundation. The only reason why I mentioned that is to give proof that he knew or researched how to do a foundation. So if I'm talking to you, brother, from 91 to 94 about doing something in memory of my sister who gave you the ticket, who you gave the ticket to, and she's no longer here with 8 other young brothers and sisters, you didn't have the wherewithal to do or help me solidify Nine Lives Inc.
let me ask you a question. So, or let me say something. Has it ever occurred to you that we are a part of a ritual? Your sister and 8 other people lost their lives and transitioned to another realm on December 28th, 1991, for which I was supposed to go to that. I didn't go at the last minute.
I
2
heard.
years later, on December 27th, 1999, he shoots me in my face. Who has and continues to rise the ranks? Then, if you listen to the testimony in the trial, he kidnapped Capricorn Clark in December something. He has all these other acts in December. What is the likelihood that somebody has all of these type of traumatic things that occurs at December something, the end of December? He named one of his groups Day 26 to commemorate the day he shot me in my face. We went out the night of the 26th. It just happened to turn the 27th early in the morning. And you You name your group years later, day 26, because like any other serial unaliver or dastardly person, they want mementos. They keep mementos of what they do publicly. We were a part of a spirit, a ritual for his growth. We were a sacrifice to his trajectory. And I hate to be the bearer of that news. And I'm so sorry to say it, but there's nothing in this world. I was born with a prophetic gift. I did not ask for it. So help me God. And with all due respect, Father God, I will gladly put it down. Because, baby, when God take the veil off your eyes and you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you cannot unsee. Trust me, 55 years with this gift has been heavy and not easy. I can see things that other people cannot see. And I'm telling you, it occurred to me, this was a ritual. It took somebody on the internet to point out the other parts of the ritual to me. After I got shot and everybody ran and got where they got, and I got into that kitchen, black and white tiles, all of the cooks appeared to be Mexican men, just based on how we phenotypically see Mexican. They all had on half aprons. This was a ritual. And I hate that that's a thing, but it's a thing. We got to look at this not just from the earthly realm, from a spiritual realm. And that is why he is getting his recompense, because you and I have continued to stay above the fray, stayed on a righteous faith walk, and continue to suffer gladly. God is giving us recompense. Look at all of the disruption to this live. How is that possible? I've seen, if you go on a channel where somebody's talking craziness or somebody's smacking booty smacks on the floor, their stream is clear. But because we are piercing the veil of the demonic warfare and we are mounted up with the breastplate of righteousness, the sword of truth, baby, they're going to come and try to enter. This is spiritual warfare. As much as we are enduring this in the physical realm, this is so much greater than a physical thing. Haven't you noticed the things in your life? It just seems like you can get something started and then it just doesn't work. Haven't you noticed that you're an intelligent, brilliant man, but there always seems to be something that just snatches the rug right after you? I want you to go back to your story, but let me impart something right here. There became a time where I was struggling. I own beauty salons and everything, but there became a time where I was struggling. I had moved back home. They moved me out of state. I was just like, this ain't working. I moved back home against the advisement of everybody. So, and I'm brilliant. And I say this with all sincere humility. I went on an interview for a company. First phase of the interview, flying colors. Second phase, flying colors. They sent me an offer letter. I negotiated with them. They gave me an offer of $1 amount. I said, for this dollar amount, I will come in, I'll do my 8 hours, I'll be a good employee. However, I rebutted with another amount. I said, for this dollar amount, I'll be exceptional. I will perform above and beyond the call of duty. And they gave me the raise amount. Do you know the day before I was supposed to start, they sent me a letter rescinding the offer? The day I let my current job go, they sent me an offer letter, rescinded the offer. Rescinded it. I was devastated because now I was sitting there with no job. Devastated. Do you know years later, that is the place called Jams is where my case settled? They are a settlement firm. If I took the job, they wouldn't have been able to settle my case. That ain't nothing but God. Do you hear me? This is God the whole way through. He always says, if you know what is, people mistake no weapon formed against us shall prosper. They mistake it all the time. Isaiah 54:17, they mistake it. No, it doesn't mean no weapons will be formed against us. It means weapons will be formed against you. But if you walk according to my will and my way, I will not let them prosper over you. This is so much bigger than the world could ever imagine. We are old spirits. And I'm not trying to assuage anybody's spiritual belief system, but I know just when I talk to God, when I get in a meditative state, when I get in my prayer closet and I lay prostrate and get on my face and I connect with God in a way where nobody else exists, I know I am millions of years old. This ain't a new fight. I've been fighting these demons forever. And so are you. That is why he chose us. How many people could endure this walk? I'm 25 years in. You are 30, what, 33 years in? How many people could endure this walk and have sound mind and body? Who else gets shot in the face with a 9mm hollow point and looks like this at 55? Who else but God could be the orchestrator of this? He is not the author of confusion. He is teaching the world a lesson on faith and dignity, using us. You are a warrior for God. I am a warrior for God. He gives his strongest battles to those. He will never give you more than you can handle. Clearly, he thinks very highly of us. Because how many people could do this with dignity? They said I would not survive. I watched an entire nightclub covered in my blood. When I got in that kitchen, those black and white tiles had about 9,000 bloody footprints on them, going every direction. I kept thinking, how am I going to survive with all this blood gone? I was the only person bleeding. Here I am 25 years later of sound mind and body with 9 bullet fragments. This is, when I tell you the Spirit of Christ, and watch, you're going to watch. Locke will tell you which one it is. I have a stream that I did. So help me God. Haze formed over the screen. And it was God. Everybody in this chat can confirm it. I don't want to say shocked me, because I don't fear any man. I'm ready for God whenever he so calls me. When he comes and says, my good and faithful servant, job well done, I'm out of here. And I ain't going to the light. I'm going to the dark to free myself from this misery, because earth is ghetto as hell. And I'm done. I've done what I was supposed to do here in this realm. When I tell you, when that haze came over the screen, everyone will tell you, I looked up and said, God, is that you? It was huge in the center of my screen. And it stayed there. You can't deny it. This number 1 on the wall will fall off when God is in the room. I'm telling you, this is so much bigger than what looks like the world. I can't tell you how honored I am to have you here. I'm going to be quiet because I want you to talk. But this is huge. This is huge. Your sister Sonia is walking with you this entire way. And the other night, we are doing a job for people who may not have been empowered enough to do this work. This is not for the faint at heart. I know your silent tears, brother, whether you let them fall or you kept them in. I know them. I have cried the very same ones. You got the floor, brother. I didn't mean to disturb you, but that was just...
Thank you for sharing that. Because it's hard to keep reliving this pain, but and that's what people don't really understand about what's going on with Sean, is that we had to watch him blow up. All of the music was a trigger. Not that we don't celebrate Black excellence or Black celebrity or hip hop. We celebrate those things. I celebrated big. I celebrated good music. But it's a trigger. It's a reminder of the fact that my sister and 8 other people are not here. So there's always that pain, man, that you can't see, that I can't touch. So it ain't life as usual. The platform that because of his celebrity made it a bigger one. It ain't like you got shot in the face by somebody and the cat went to Rikers and that was it. You watching this cat on the award show and getting the keys to cities. Are you kidding me? So it's like you got shot again. It's like 9 bodies got stampeded again. And you refuse to do right by those people? It's 10 people, brother. Let's move Shine out for a minute. There's 9 people dead.
Mhm.
You shot one sister in the
No,
face.
he shot me, but Shine. Well, you said move Shine out the way. That's right. He shot me.
But yeah, let's move Shine. We're dealing with Puff right now.
Hmm.
Because I'm the point I'm trying to make is that say we healed, right?
Hmm.
And now we just want to move on with our life. And I pull a Haagen-Dazs out the freezer and I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna watch some TV. I turn my TV on and I'm looking at Sean Combs again. And to add insult to injury, I'm looking at people saying things about this brother, even if they're lies.
Hmm.
That's just showing me the character of a person who has something to do with my sister not being here.
That's right.
It's trauma. It's triggering. It's triggering. It's
It is.
painful.
I've never met anybody who understands my pain like you. I've never met. We've had to be strong in the like.
Before there was podcasts, before there was YouTube, um, we that's how we living, man. Let me add this story. See, I can go on and on and on.
Go
But
on.
I finished the part of how litigation started. I told you how Puff wanted to connect me with Sister Soldier, which proved that he already knew how to do a foundation. I connect with Sister Soldier. I think I might have spoke to her one time, but that's it. And that wasn't her responsibility.
Mhm.
She wasn't getting paid to deal with me and
Mhm.
and the 9 young brothers and sisters lost their lives. She got hired by him to do his foundation. And she was on the Breakfast Club recently
I saw that.
dis- discussing that. So and shout out to her, man. Yeah, I love that sister, man. She's powerful. And I believe back then she was very vocal
Mhm.
on what happened at City College, and she was vocal on defending hip hop because they were slaying it. They were trying to slay hip hop. So shout out to Sister Soldier. I haven't spoken to her since then. So I forget what year that was, 94, 95.
Mhm.
But to see her mention that once again was triggering.
Mhm.
It was triggering to say the least. But now Misa, somewhere in the midst of me doing these fashion shows and fundraisers in memory of my sister, I remember going to visit Misa at her home, I believe somewhere in New Rochelle. And honestly, I don't remember why I was meeting with her. I don't know if it has something to do with one of the benefits that I was trying to throw, but that was the first time and the only time that I met with her and spoke with her. But when I got into Misa's house, I look around and there's pictures of her, Misa, and Justin everywhere. And every magazine in there had Puffy's face on the cover. So no foul, no harm. However, I ain't see one picture of my sister.
Mhm.
And like I said, I probably shut down from that alone because I don't remember what we spoke about. We have not talked since then. It was that one time, and she got a lot going on. She's successful in her fashion um things that she does. She has a fashion academy and all of these things. But if you want to know Sonia Williams, you won't find it through her platform. But Sonia wasn't gonna go to the celebrity basketball game, to the best of my knowledge. But Misa talked her into going. So do I feel a certain way? Absolutely. But everybody grieve different, right? So I can't charge Misa. Technically, I guess I can't charge Puff for not doing anything in their memory.
No, I believe you can.
But the testimony is what it is. So I can speak. I don't know how many people is on this platform listening right now, but I can speak it, and however you formulate your opinion on it is what it is. But my salvation, my healing, you know what I mean, was it's personal because everybody does grieve different.
Absolutely.
And if, to your question, if I was in the mindset that that was a ritual, I in my youth would have tried to kill everything moving.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
why
God didn't give me that. The God didn't give me that at the time. You know what the God gave me? He gave me numbness. He gave me a blank canvas. That pain was so severe, he blanked me. My faith was in question because I questioned the God. Because I'm a firm believer in the creator of the heavens and the earth. And I believe that a leaf don't fall off a tree without the permission of God. I believe that then, and I believe that now. So believing that tested my faith. And I do recognize that all trials purify, and that the righteous will be severely tried at least twice a year. I think I shared that with you, my brother, on your platform. I think I said that before.
Yeah.
That all trials purify, and that the righteous are severely tried at least twice a year. So,
yeah, look how many trials that has been for you since
many,
you
many,
got since you lost your sister.
many, 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 many. Since then, since losing my sister, I lost key players in my life. I had all four of my grandparents in my life, and all of them transitioned after my sister. My mother and my father will still be here, in my strong opinion, if they didn't lose their daughter. So when you lose somebody and you go through something like that, it don't end with just you. I have 5 children now. I cannot fathom the pain of losing one of them. I can't fathom it. Even as a sibling, I know how severe that pain is, but I can't fathom the pain of losing a child. I watch my mother and my father suffer. So, in relation to Sean Combs, you didn't have nothing in your soul to try to make your wrongs right? Nothing? In good faith, I can't go to Manhattan and say something kind on the stand. In good faith, I can't do it, brother. And I'm watching people line up
I'm gonna say something
that you quote unquote took care of, that's testifying against you. People on your payroll, people that you trusted with the alleged freak offs and all this wicked shit, pardon my language, lining up to tell on you.
Let me say something. And I've never said this before because I don't let people know what I'm doing. I won't even put my turn signal on because I don't let nobody. I've been followed for years. I've been harassed for years. I don't let the person behind me know what I'm doing, even down to give me a ticket for not putting on my turn signal because I ain't doing it. I ain't gonna let nobody know what I'm getting ready to do. I make my turn at the last minute. I was gonna go to the trial. But there were a lot of concerns for my safety. There was a lot of concerns about strategizing security and all of this stuff because he has minions out there in the street. It aggravates me when I look at the trial. You know, there are people that are covering the trial and there's other people that's covering the outside of the courthouse to show you all of the craziness. And I watch it sometimes and I'm just repulsed. I'm like, look at these people. Like, look at them. It's a joke to them. It's nothing serious. I was going to the trial. I would have, listen, I was supposed to go be there for land Thursday and be in the trial on Friday. And then they announced that the trial is ending this week. And I said, somebody had to, they're a very small group of people that knew. And I said, how the F is the trial going to end on the day I was supposed to land? How? After they had hundreds of people on the list that they were supposed to present this amazing case. And I said, I got a snake in my inner circle. I know I do. I have a snake in my inner circle. Trust me, God has given me the ability to see people. I'm sure you endure it. Every media place is tapping you. For the last 2 years, I have literally been contacted globally. I'm talking South Africa, all through Europe. Everybody wants to talk to me. I'm very selective of who I talk to because you're not going to use me. And like you said, they'll interview you for a long time and take one snippet. I did a interview, and it makes me know that some of these media outlets are part and parcel with them. I did an interview. They flew me out of town. They interviewed me for hours. They used a picture of me crying. I am extremely well-spoken and extremely outspoken. You interview, oh my God, I've never heard that. Those are amazing points. And then you show me, I cussed them people out. They were like, you didn't like it? I said, what? I said, how dare you insult my intelligence and use my likeness? How dare you take advantage of me? I don't play those games because it's nothing more than allowing the who's who of the next content creators that are rising up. They were featuring them. If you look at all the little documentaries, all they're doing is featuring the up and coming who's who in content creation. I ripped them to shreds. She was like, I'm shocked that you feel like this. I said, what are you shocked about? You interviewed me for hours. I talked mercilessly for hours, and you put a picture of me crying in one of the most vulnerable moments I experienced there. I was resolute and steadfast. And this is what you highlighted? You have me up here looking like a bumbling idiot when I tell you I cussed their ass out so bad. And I'm a woman of God, baby. I had to put that aside. I cussed their ass out, up, down, side to side. Their feelings was hurt. Don't play with me.
When they called me, I said to them, I said, what sense does it make for me to talk about Sean Combs? I said, that don't even make sense. I said, but there's 9 people that people don't even know about. I said, whenever they mention City College, it's a 2-second soundbite. I said, so the only way it will make sense for me to be a part of this documentary is maybe to bring light to who those people are. And because Puff and Misa knew Sonia is really the only reason why they will really want my story.
No, here's why they wanted our stories. And this is another veil God ripped off of me because I go into prayer for everything. They wanted to talk to us to ensure that we didn't end up on the witness list. They didn't know how far back the RICO would go. And I spoke to the feds. The feds called me. I spoke to them twice. The more interviews you've done, the less likely you would end up on the stand. That's why all these people you've heard, that and the media outlets are in it with them. They're in it. When I tell you these people, I did Dateline NBC the other day, and they were on me for over a year. And I kept saying, absolutely not. I emphatically said I wouldn't talk to anybody from NBC because I did my research. NBC is NBC Universal. His love thing is through NBC Universal. I was like, why would I talk to them? That's his people. That's like taking a court-appointed attorney to defend you when he's being paid by the same office that's prosecuting you.
Right.
You asking to go to jail.
Right.
They wanted to interview us, especially the bigger the platform. Now, smaller ones, I might say, okay, maybe not them. But the bigger the platform, they were ensuring that the voices that would tear him down, didn't end up on that screen, on that stand.
Makes sense.
100%.
Okay.
I don't have the benefit of not seeing. God, the Bible said those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. When I tell you he gave me that at such a young age.
I had brunch with a high profile magazine, that and one of the, I believe, editors um, wants to write a book about him. So I had brunch with her,
Mhm.
and I told her that I wanted to show my face in the court. I just wanted Puff to see my face one time.
Me too.
So I reached out to her to see if there was a way I can get in, maybe on a press pass
Hmm.
or something like that. And she gave me the generic
Hmm.
process of how
I
it's
got
done.
it. I got it too.
And so I bowed down. I said, I'm not getting up 4 in the morning. I'm not
They didn't
paying
tell
nobody
you
to
that
sit
people are
online.
paying to. Yeah, I got it. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
this. I got
yeah.
this.
I'm not doing none of that. It ain't that serious. But
Here's the deal.
if I could have drove down and showed up and went in the court, now good, bad, or indifferent, you're just looking at my face.
Hmm.
Now I'm a correction officer of 27 years.
Shout out to
So
you.
if I go visit somebody in jail, I got to get permission.
Hmm.
So I did say out loud that I will go visit him in the jail. Um, I think that was emotion talking. Because honestly, what am I going to say to this brother now? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's divine intervention that I wasn't connected to him,
Hmm.
because then that would tarnish Nine Lives Inc. or Sonia Seeds or whatever I was attempting to do.
And I think he
So
tried to maintain that connection to you for the sole purpose of doing that. Because how long did it take you guys to settle? It was like 11 years, right?
no, it was litigation was 6 years.
So it took
Um,
6 years for the case to settle
it took
from the
6 years.
incident.
It took 6 years because they decided to settle. And the reason why um, the majority of the families
Hmm.
were looking to my mother for guidance in this case because Sonia and Puffy knew each other.
Hmm.
So naturally, the other families, which we have all bonded with, and all of them has passed away with the exception when the parents have passed away with the exception of one, and I haven't spoken to him in a couple of years. Actually, I have two, and I have not spoken to them in a couple of years, so I'm not certain. I pray to God that they're still with us.
Hmm.
But um, I lost my point.
You said all of them. I was asking
Oh,
about how long did it take to
litigation,
settle, and you said
litigation, right.
litigation.
Right. So they were looking to my mother as
Mhm.
guidance. Now, when you got 9 young brothers and sisters that are not, for example, an executive, a doctor, a lawyer, or actually working, transit for 30 years or anything like that, New York State puts a value on the life of a person.
Mhm.
So even if you're a student and you're a student that's in for nursing, like my sister. There actually was a sister who was a nurse who had a young daughter who passed away. They put values on the lives.
Mhm.
So once they started doing that, then the attorneys started looking at the pockets of the city and the police department in New York State, and then now Puffy's making money.
Mhm.
So now they wanted to transfer to his pocket. It became a challenge.
He should have been
So
an
that
original. Was he not an original litigant?
yeah. Him and Hev was 50%.
Okay.
City College, police department, Pinkerton security, and all that was the other 50%.
Mhm.
So they were liable. The judge said that they are liable.
Well, I know they were liable. I'm saying when they filed your lawsuit, did they list Sean Combs as a litigant in the confines of the lawsuit? Okay.
Absolutely. But they were gunning for New York State
Of course, because they
because
thought
that's
it
the
was a
deep
deeper pocket.
pocket,
Mhm.
right? But once he starts blowing up, now how do we shift that?
Yeah.
But the judge made it 50-50, and the settlements was disgusting, to say the least.
Trust me, I had to go through the process. It took me 12 years to settle. 12, because that's what he
Disgusting.
does. So let me tell you a part about why he did that, why he dragged it out that long. He is hoping that time and space gets in between it and that people forget. People lose empathy for you, they move on to other stories, and it minimizes the value. That is why he drags it out so long. He drug girls out. I thought y'all were a little longer than that, but he drug you guys out 6 years. Mine was 12 years. Could you imagine 12 years after getting shot, finally settling?
I can imagine, and I have another story.
Tell me, share.
Heavy D paid everyone. When he got to Mrs. Williams, Sonia's mother, he ran out of money. So Hev
Wow.
sued his insurance company, and the only reason why Hev had a case is because he didn't pay Sonia Williams' family yet. Heavy D sued that insurance company for 16 years. My mother allowed him to do that without garnishing his wages, touching his plays, his movies, his royalties. She allowed Heavy D to sue that insurance company for 16 years. Have won 16 years later, and he paid my mother her settlement with interest. He was excited. He wanted to take us out to dinner, all of the above.
Praise God.
That never happened. So, and have in the beginning, because like I said, these are my peers. So I knew people that was at the house that night. They said Hev was, crying. He was crying when he called my house. They said Puff was pacing back and forth, talking about he needed to get a lawyer. So early on, as I'm hearing stuff like that, people will bump into Misa and say, Misa, how are you doing? And Misa will respond, well, I'm just trying to be strong for Puffy. And that person come back to me upset because they're like, do you know what Misa said to me? She trying to be strong for Puffy. I'm asking her because Sonia passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I had so much darkness and pain on me. Even hearing that, I heard it, but I wasn't moving on none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But when litigation happened and they started to do depositions, Puff was telling what it was in the deposition. Hev was saying in his deposition, do you know Sonia Williams? I don't recall.
Listen, never sleep on these jokers. I'm merciless and ruthless with them. I had people telling me to not say that it was Puffy. When I first got shot, Puffy called someone that I know very well, that we both know very well, that's in the industry, that's a friend of mine for years, and had them call me and ask me to not file a lawsuit and they would take care of me. I said, absolutely, unequivocally not. Absolutely. You're not paying me under the table for what you did to me, for what you took from me, for what you. A lot of people don't know I'm a female vocalist. I am a phenomenal singer. Like when I say I don't sing, I sang. My grandmother was a vocalist. I got it honestly. And then my father's family is a famous musical family, and we're huge in New York in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and all of that. All over TV, all over California, everything. They were on. There's Ed Sullivan show videos out there with them on it, a whole musical ensemble. I come from music. They stole all of that from me. I had a record out, it's on YouTube in the 90s. They understand what they're doing. They are harvesting us. They are looking for people whose energy is strong that they can harvest energy from. I only, and I can't tell anybody what to do. I love the humanity in you that still gave them the opportunity to speak to you and your family and to engage with them. But I have to say, just from what God has instilled in me and from my gift, none of it was sincere. None of it. It was a way to keep a hand on the scale. Like I used the analogy before. When you go in a fish market, we could just say the Asian fish markets in New York, the little Chinese fruit stand, and you buying some fruit, the lady behind the counter, she moving so fast, but she always got her finger on the scale. So even if your fruits only weigh 3 pounds, it says 5 pounds because she got her finger on the scale. That's what they were doing to you, keeping their finger on the scale to win in their favor. None of it was sincere. Had it been sincere, there would be a Sonia Williams Memorial Foundation for nurses. Had it been sincere, all of the 9, their name would be household names. If you say one of their names out loud, people would be like, who? Had it been sincere. Now, the problem that people had with me, ever since I was a kid, you can't shut me up. I was the kid that asked grown adults, why? Well, for what? No, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. I keep telling people when I was a child, I felt like an adult inside. And I couldn't understand why all these people were telling me what to do and giving me all these rudimentary directives. For what? What? No, I don't want to do that. I wasn't rude. I was an adult in a child's body. I was an old soul in a child's body. I was clearly a reincarnate. And I felt like, why are they telling me stupid things? Like, this is dumb. And with no disrespect to the adults, I just knew some of the things were wrong. And I often paid the price. If they told me, go down the street, make a right, go to that corner store. On the way there, if God said, make a left and go back 2 blocks, I'm doing what God said. And I would take the butt whipping with no fear. Because God's voice was, I knew God for myself when I was 5. When I was 9, I self-diagnosed my scoliosis. I was a formally trained dancer. Ayanna Van Zant was my dance teacher. My trajectory was Broadway and all of that, which is what I wanted. I, at 9 years old, felt my body and I'd seen the words somewhere. I was reading a Judy Blume book called Deanie, and I recognized everything that she was going through, I was going through. And so I saw this massive word, and I went to my mother and said, I have sclerosis. And she was like, get your ass out my room. You don't have nothing. And I said, I'm telling you, I have sclerosis. Not knowing that the word was scoliosis. I harassed her mercilessly. My grandmother finally said, oh, God, glory, well, take the child to the doctor and let the people say she don't have it. My mother was like, she don't have nothing. I don't have time to waste. I said, I know I have sclerosis. They took me to the doctor. He said, tell me why you're here. I explained. He said, now, tell me why you think you have sclerosis. And I said, because my skirts are longer on one side than the other. I can feel my body shifting. And when I stand up, one of my elbows kind of dips into my side. I can feel my body crooked. And he said, well, that's not sclerosis, that's scoliosis. And how on earth did you figure that out? I explained it to him. They did the, touch your toes, and he came back and told my mother, I have good news and I have bad news. My mother said, okay, get your coat, let's go. And he said, which do you want? He said, you don't have sclerosis, but you have scoliosis. I was 9. Everybody was like, I went to a spine specialist. So help me God. You remember in the 70s, they would put a glass to the wall and listen through the door or something on TV, a drinking glass. I went to a spine specialist. He examined me. He told my mother when I was 11, she will never have children. My mother opened the door and said, come here. I said, he's a liar. She said, well, don't be disrespectful. You know our parents from back in those days. Don't be rude to no adult. She said, come in here. I said, no, he's a liar. I'm not going in there. Oh, trust me, I got toe up for that, but I don't care. I was never afraid to speak out. I said, he's a liar. I'm going to be a mother. You're a liar. That was the God in me cursing that demonic word against me, stealing my motherhood. The best thing in my entire life. I tell everybody, I hit the womb Powerball. Being a mother is the greatest thing I've ever accomplished. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I have magnificent children and an amazing granddaughter. But at 9 and 11, I knew I wasn't going to let this man put a verbal curse spell on me and steal my womb. Oh, no, no, no. This curved spine ain't got nothing to do with this womb, and you ain't taking it from me. I got my behind toe up when I got home. You rude. You so rude. Okay, I've been called rude for a million years. But guess what I was, right? See, we got to honor that voice inside. We've been trained to not honor the God in us. And I've always cried aloud and spared not. I used to argue with my attorneys, the district attorney, everybody. Well, don't say that. We're not going to. I said, I don't care what y'all say. I watched him shoot me in my face. Puffy shot me, and I don't care what nobody say. My lawyers were like, well, calm down. Look, I don't care. I don't work for you. You work for me. You can't tell me what to say, and I'm not going to not say it. Because I say on my channel all the time, I believe my attorneys were paid. I really do.
Did you settle the case, or the case went forward?
We settled.
So when you settled, that means he admitted to?
Yeah, and not only did he admit, he had to pay me out of his pocket because his insurance company went bankrupt. because
So
they had
he admitted. So he admitted to shooting you.
he had no choice. He had no choice. He had to pay me out of his pocket. This man has been living ever since. And when I tell you he harassed the daylights out of me for the past 25 years, because he cannot let go. See, it's one thing when their insurance company pays off because they don't feel the sting. It's not out of their pocket. But his insurance company, right before he shot me, is when he assaulted Steve Stout. So the insurance company had to pay them $500,000. Listen to me. They were so fed up. They filed bankruptcy and allowed themselves to go under because they had been insuring his bad behavior and paying off settlements forever. So when it got time to my settlement, he had to go in his pocket and pay me. I promise to God, every single dollar of that settlement burned a hole in that man's pocket. And he harassed me. I'm talking, I could go out to dinner with my family. I have money in my, clearly got money in my account. Take out my card, decline. Take out another card, decline. Every single card will be declined. I will then send the money to my daughter's account, and it works. Still to this day, I'll go to the gas station. Every card declined. How? What is the statistical probability that every card in my wallet will be declined? What? How? But this is the things that happen to me. My daughter's about to leave for college, so what happens to me when she's gone now and I can't say, okay, use your card? I'm be stranded somewhere. This is, listen, his final baby mother, the youngest child, she's a cybersecurity expert. In 2015, I started telling people I'm being hacked. And they were like, okay. I was like, I'm being hacked. I went on a business trip with some friends. I'm a life insurance agent. I went on a business trip with some friends. God told me 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, Puffy's world is going to crumble. He is going to try to kill himself and Babylon will fall. Hello? Are we not in World War III? Is his world crumbled? And did they not scoop him a day before he was scheduled to turn himself in? After they had cloned his phones, because they probably knew he was going to try to take the easy way out. See, I don't wait for man to vindicate me. God vindicates me. I speak things and people be like, oh, come on. And guess what? The world got to catch up to me. I don't have to catch up to the world. God blessed me with a gift that has been I'm not going to lie, it's been very heavy to carry. Very heavy. I can talk to someone and smell bullshit through the screen. But I also know righteous people. The first moment I spoke to for show, I was like, yeah, this is a righteous brother. Locked went on his channel. I said, this is a righteous man. We sat and talked for a long time. When he said to me, I saw when he said, wait a minute, is that you? Are you the woman? And I was like, yes. He said, oh my God, on my platform, me and Sonny were talking about, I was honored. I said, I have wanted to meet you for so long, but this is how God works. They have hated me for being so steadfast in God for all these years. Hated me on the internet because I brought God to the YouTube. Oh. I had somebody calling me a fake voodoo priestess, a fake Haitian voodoo priestess. I'm Trinidadian, but he said I'm a Haitian voodoo priestess with a fake Jamaican accent. And honey, they was all smacking that around. Like, you see those commercials where somebody has a big beach ball and everybody hits the beach ball and it goes from place to place. That's what they was doing to me. Furious that I brought God to this platform. Too bad. God, the blood of Jesus, Yeshua, Elohim, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nissi. I don't care who likes it. I don't care. I'm not here for the pleasure of other people. Like I had to tell them, you know why they can't harm me? I don't fear any man. I don't fear anyone. I am a child of God. In fact, my name, Natanya, means gift of God. Natanya means gift of God. When I tell you, I have never feared anyone, not even my mama. And she'd be like, go get the belt. I'd be like, which one? The leather one or the... She'd be like, I'm going to beat you for saying that. I used to tell her, talk to me. What do you have to hit me for? I understand. I got a beating for that. I am a case study. You are a case study, a master class in faith walking. God has used us to demonstrate to the world that this is real. You better know him. The minute he tap on my shoulder and say, job well done, my good and faithful servants, I've already talked to my children and said, listen, there is no time or space in this world that will keep me from you. I will be a butterfly that lands on your nose. I will be always with you. I ain't scared of death. I'm not afraid of death. I grew up with a grandmother who said my entire life, Father God, take me from here. Why are you leaving me here with these people? I don't want to be here. I was terrified of that. I cried when I was a kid. Then my son came along. Grandma wants to die. I said, baby, she been calling for that since I was a little kid. The woman lived to the ripe old age, almost 100. Because those who chase it or ain't scared of it don't get it. It's only it catches the ones who don't want it. It's on your heels if you're running from it. I don't fear no man. We all come here with a start date and an end date. God gave me a prophetic gift and showed me when I was 16, God gave me a prophecy. You are going to have 2 sons named Donovan and Devon. My sons are Donovan and Devon. When I was 17, he showed me myself get shot in the head. When I told everybody that, they were like, oh, don't mark yourself. You know what black people say? Don't say that. Don't mark yourself. You want that to happen? No, I don't want it to happen. I'm telling you the prophecy that God gave me. When I was 19, God gave me another prophecy that said, you will raise a little girl. I thought one of my sisters would have a baby girl, or my cousins or my friends, and something would happen to them and I would have to raise their child, because that's how he said it, raise it. No, my daughter is 15 and 18 years younger than my sons. My sons are 36, 33, and 17. He told me raise a little girl because he didn't want me out there trying to match up. If he said have a little girl, I might have been like, ooh, let me see if that's the guy. Yeah, I'm gonna have it with him. No, he didn't want us to get in his way. He has given me prophecy of what my life will be. I was on an airplane, the worst turbulence in the world. I'm talking white people screaming, oh God, help us. Now, you know, when the white people call for God to help you, they scared. I said, calm down. We are not. I said, show them you are God. Show them you are God. I was on the blood of Jesus. People were saying, shut the up, cursing me out on the plane. Everybody was livid. I said, we are going to land this plane. We are going to land. This plane will not crash. Everybody was like, shut up. People screaming at me. They were livid. When we landed, people were crying, hurt in hysteria. When we landed, some people were like, how did you know? I said, God showed me a prophecy of myself as an old lady sitting on a property with a little girl in my family brushing my hair. And I looked about 80 or 90 years old. How could I die in a plane crash now? People were just like, he talks to us. We have to open up that thing in us and listen. He talks to us. They were mad at me because I said we wouldn't crash. They didn't want to crash, but who gave me the authority to speak with that level of power? Who? They wanted me to shut up and let us die in silence. No, I said, show them you are God. Let them see your majesty, the blood of Jesus on this plane. And people were just like, I literally watched somebody barf in the barf bag. We saw those barf bags on planes forever. You ever seen anybody use one? This is how bad the turbulence was. They were livid. Some people were still crying. Other people walked up to me and touched me. Where do you get that kind of faith? God. The same faith I had when I watched them get into a shoving match and start reversing to the door and drawing from their hip. And I told my friends, watch out. I'm thinking they're just going to pull the gun to scare people. It never occurred to me that they would fire. When they both backed up and both fired that gun, I was watching Shine and Puffy both fire their guns. Shine shot Julius Jones in the shoulder. Puffy shot me in my face. I had just gotten saved. The first thing out of my mouth was, I threw my hands up and said, Father God, I'm not done raising my kids. I have work to do. Who am I to tell God I'm not going? Who? He said, he that is in me is greater than he that is in the world. He created us in his image. So I'm speaking with the voice of God. We are created in his image. Father God, I'm not ready to go. I have to raise my children. Just like I declared when I was 11 that I would have children. That was a continuation of God's manifestation. If I didn't speak up at 11, how could I then speak up at 29? If I didn't proclaim to this doctor who tried to speak a word curse over me that I wouldn't have kids, how would I have the power at 29 after being struck in the face with a bullet and not even shedding a tear and say, Father God, I am not leaving. I have to raise my children. I'm doing your work. Where would I get the authority to do it if it wasn't God? If it wasn't God, where would I get the authority? How could I? That's what bothers people about me, the audaciousness. Too bad. Too bad if you don't like it. I say it's above me. Go take it to the altar. Perhaps go visit God and have a conversation with him. I'm on my Father's business. I ask my mother all the time, where did you get the name Natanya? My mother says, I don't know. I said, Mommy, right now, who they in a war with? Israel. Natanya is a city in Israel. I said, where did you get the name? She said, I don't have a clue. She can't even tell me where she could say where she got my sister's name, my older sister and my younger sister. She cannot say where she got my name because this is all ordained by God. It's so much bigger than a mortal human could ever imagine. But this is your house today. Both of y'all have your say.
You got any questions for show?
I'm just enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. I'm happy to bring y'all together. So I'm just
God is using you too, brother. Trust me.
I'm just watching. I'm just watching. I mean, I've talked to both of y'all, so I pretty much asked a lot of questions. This is about getting y'all together so y'all can talk, and I'm just happy I can be the mediator in between and getting this done.
And I can't see any of the viewers respond. So is there anything that I can address from her viewers?
If y'all have any questions, let me know. What questions do you have for Sonny or for show?
I said a lot, so I know there's comments.
I want you to still talk, brother. I honestly do. I know I interjected, but this is your house. When I tell you I've been waiting a lifetime to meet you, a lifetime. I've seen you out there. Remember, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm your Brooklyn sister. I was supposed to be at the City College thing, and something stopped me at the last minute. But I have to attribute that to God. Because 8 years later, I would be in your same position, asking the same question. We have walked two separate paths, the same road. You was just up ahead of me. We have walked the same path.
All right, but I think it's fair for me to take you all to the end where I decided to just stop dealing with Puff. So after I realized that Puff wasn't really gonna help me do anything with the foundation, Puff suggested that maybe we'll put statues of all 9 of them in front of City College as babies. So he sent me to get quotes for that. So I went and got a quote, to make a long story short. And I got a quote for just a bust, a head of a statue, $50,000. So I call Puff and I tell, all right, I just got a thought, but let me finish this thought, and I'm going to tie a thought into you. Because my timeline, I'm trying to be on the proper timeline. So I brought that back to Puff, and naturally, there's no statues in front of City College of the 9 young brothers and sisters. So when I hit him with the 50,000 for just the head, that went away. Now, by this time, according to one of the documentaries, Puff was worth $40 million at that time. So even if he did do statues, say the whole body was 100,000, that's less than $1 million. And if he would have worked with me, he wouldn't have had to touch his own money. His celebrity would have got me sponsorships, and he would have been able to, just like this platform and other platforms, he would have put me in front of a lot of people. And we know that the bank of our bank is the heart of the people. So if we got 2-3 million people that really are touched by what we went through, $1 a piece, that's $3 million. So we would have put the statue there and had 2 million to do scholarships in memory of all 9 of them. So even me communicating with Puff, it wasn't about me asking him for no money. So I'm gonna fast forward. So when he called me to the BMG building out of the blue, after I then gave him quotes for statues, I told him my idea for doing a camp in memory of the 9, where each camp had a cabin and named after each individual from City College. And then we can do a lot of different things that you do when you go to a sleepaway camp. I brought all of those ideas to the brother. And then he calls me to the BMG building out of the blue. Now, like I said, the litigation was my mom, wrongful death case for losing her daughter. So my communication with Puff had nothing to do with money. And surely I didn't want to talk no money. So I'm bringing ideas to him. This brother calls me to the BMG building. I go to the office. When I'm walking to his office, I see Sean John samples on the rack. And I remember looking at the clothes on the rack and seeing how the quality was good. And the brother that was working for I think Cross Colors and Carl Kanai, he was the one that Puff hired to do Sean John. Because I remember seeing him in the office. And that's when Puff offered me $50,000. And I'm looking around his office, I'm seeing all these platinum plaques, and I'm like, $50,000? Now, if they would have not edited all of what I said, if I'm bringing a head, just a head, $50,000, when you sent me, Puff, to go price statues in memory of all 9 of them, and I bring you back $50,000 for just one head, why are you calling me to your office and you allegedly worth $40 million to offer me $50,000 for what? So I lost it. One of my childhood friends, she was working for Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, and that is where I opened up my 9 Lives account, the account that we use for the Lou Rawls Foundation and all of that. I called her up, and I said to her, yo, Puff just called me down to the BMG building. He's offering me $50,000 towards what? Like, I asked her for clarity. So she said, well, maybe he wants to give that to you, Sonny, for now, and he'll help you later with the foundation. So maybe you should consider taking it. So when you see me in the documentary saying I walked out of his office, I also said that I went and called my childhood friend who worked at Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, and opened up my 9 Lives account. I went and talked to her, and she's the one that convinced me to take the $50,000. But if you watch the documentary, I got comments, and I'm reading comments later on. I really ain't sweating it. Oh, but he took that $50,000. Like and they settled for $50,000.
They said, and that's what I heard. But they said those same things to me. She took a payoff.
Yeah, like I took $50,000 for the wrongful death case. I took it though. No, that had nothing to do with it. That had absolutely nothing to do with it. This brother calls me out the blue, offers me $50,000 after he sends me on these wild goose chases, and that's what you're saying. How he's stretching me, and he stretched me from 91 to 98. But right before, and this is where my timeline gets crazy, and this is where you come in at. Matter of fact, I'm fast forwarding past this last story. This is another story I got, but I'm gonna tell this story. Somehow, me and Puff was doing something, and Puff called me. And when he called me, it sounded like he was in the bathroom. And I heard Spanish language in the background. So I was like, yo, what's going on, man? You know, thanks for calling me back. I think I was talking about something else that I was trying to do in memory of them. And he says, Sonny, you know, I'm going through something right now. I'm at Jennifer's house, um, and I remember saying to him, I said, brother, you got all this money, and you got women problems like that. He said, Sonny, man, you know, and it sounded like he's whispering in the bathroom, and I hear all this Latino talk in the background. The next day, after that conversation, I see Puff and Jennifer Lopez on the front page of the newspaper, walking across the street holding hands, coming from the case dealing with you. And that's how I remembered that I was still in communication with him. What year was that, by the way?
99.
All right. So I kept saying I cut his ass off in 98.
It was 99.
So I'm gearing up to that. Your situation happened. He calls me and he's telling me about women problems. Like, he didn't tell me about the shooting. He didn't say that was the
problem. You want to know what's profound about that? Stick a pin. You know what's profound about that? The people who wrote the book contacted me before the book came out. Kim's Diary.
Yeah.
And in the book, the narrative about my shooting was Kim and Puffy were together, and J-Lo busted it, banging on the door, screaming. Kim went and answered the door. J-Lo busted in and said, "What the fuck you shot that lady for? What you do that? You got bodyguards for that." That's what we're talking about. That's that right there, that call. I got women problems, Latino talking in the background, because that was all that banter about, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? You see how God is a mighty God?
Well, that makes sense. And that's why when I seen one of your interviews saying that, and me getting that call from him, and the way that I got the call, and then seeing on the newspaper the next day, him on the front page, he didn't say to me he was stressed out about the shooting. All I hear is Spanish. He didn't even say really. Well, he did say Jennifer, but if I didn't hear the whatever in the background, I don't know if she was cussing him out through the door or if it was his mom. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm piecing all that together, and then because when I seen you say to the brother that you know, I felt bonded from you back then. Like I said, when I seen, because that literally was on the front page on December 28th. So City College didn't make it on the front page. In the first few years, there's an article in the paper. And maybe if that shooting didn't occur, maybe there would have been something on the front page because it was still early and litigation was about to take place. But your incident took front page December 28th, same day. So I'm triggered. I'm sure the other 8 families is triggered because we seeing like, damn, this brother's still doing shit.
How many chances God got to give you? God gave him a chance when he made it through that, because that would have taken anybody else out. The loss of 9 lives would have taken anybody. His career grew. And that is why I say it was absolutely unequivocally a ritual, a sacrifice.
Got another
for their growth.
Grand Poobah from Brand Nubian. I'm real close with him, and he has children with my first cousin.
Okay.
As I'm formulating my foundation, he puts me in touch with an attorney. The attorney to set up my foundation. The attorney that he puts me in touch with was the brother who Puff was living with after the City College Stampede, who was concerned, who was telling him and his dad that he wanted to take his life. So that came full circle, that this brother referred to me by Grand Poobah, connected me with this brother. So he was able to confirm to me that Puff was suicidal, like Gene Deal says today.
And like God told me in that prophecy that Puffy his world was gonna fall apart. He was gonna try to take his life, which shows a history of suicidal behavior, and that Babylon will fall. America is Babylon. It's falling.
So listen, when I hear Gene Deal and I hear certain things, I was present. So if Pooh Bah didn't connect me with that attorney who happened to took Puffy in during that time, it would have been just hearsay to me.
Mhm.
But that's another trigger. When I hear Gene Deal or whoever, Jaguar Wright, say that he was suicidal, or the other brother who's getting ready to sue him, who helped him formulate Bad Boy. Um,
Uh, I know you talk about the who was the president of Bad Boy. I want.
yes,
Uh, his name is eluding me right now. Somebody put it in the chat what his name is.
yeah, he also, because he said it too.
Yeah.
But I knew that to be true because I happened to hire the brother that Pooh Bah referred. So
Wow.
even in that, I'm like, all right. That's why when you say ritual, it's deep. Like listen, I got a lot of family and friends
Mhm.
who are Haitian, and
Mhm.
like I got a white candle on the side of the bed.
Mhm. My godmother's Haitian.
You know what I'm saying?
My my
So
my, my granddaughter's family's Haitian. So I grew up
yeah,
with
yeah,
Haitians.
yeah.
I'm close to Haitian.
Yeah, so rituals, and that's powerful.
Mhm.
I'm just saying at the time of this incident
Yeah.
that it threw me into darkness. And
I
really what
was there
pulled
through
me
that.
out of the darkness was my two daughters.
Beautiful.
Cuz I remember consciously looking over at them, feeling like I'm spiraling,
Mhm.
like I'm fighting a lot of demons at this time. And I remember looking over at my babies and saying, I got to snap out of this.
Mhm.
But in the black community, we don't go to mental health to get help with
Mhm.
mental health. We just snap out of it. So since then, I have been in therapy and and
Mhm.
and talked to someone, and I'm proud to say from 91 to 2025 that I did it sober. I don't use drugs. I don't drink. I don't take pills. Um, I eat. Doing corrections, I did gain weight. I didn't think that will ever happen. So I
Mhm.
gained weight. That was the worst part of my story. But I remember when it first happened that I didn't want to do anything that brought me the natural pleasure. I was into the martial arts deep. It was part of my DNA. My wife knew that I'm leaving here to go to the dojo,
Mhm.
no matter what, unless it was a crazy emergency. So that's what I was doing. I joined the Nation of Islam
Mhm.
at a young age. So, and I grew up with a Muslim family,
Mhm.
so they introduced me to Islam. So it was like, and I was from a little boy. So Islam, now to date, 2025, when I hear anyone speak passionately about religion,
Mhm.
religion is a way of life. So I am intrigued and I am all in to the
Mhm.
God. That's why I say now, to the God of your understanding.
Mhm.
If
And
we
I
was
consider myself more spiritual because sometimes while religion is a way of life, it is also used to control. To be, it's a method of control, and I'm not one of those people to be controlled. So
to control and to divide,
that's right.
because on this platform, if I say to you and for sure that we was born to do God's will,
Mhm.
that was what we was born to do,
Absolutely.
and by nature we are people of peace.
Mhm.
But if I say it in Arabic, I'm gonna
Oh, I'm
say
no, I'm
I'm gonna
reciprocal.
say both of y'all are Muslim
Listen,
and both of y'all practice Islam.
listen. Say it however you want.
No,
I
no, no.
receive that.
The point, sis, that I'm making is the division of it all.
Of
Mhm.
course, of
See,
course.
me and you can just give our testimony,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in harmony because it's the actual fact and it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the sake of unification, I don't have to say I'm a Muslim. I don't have to say my religion is Islam.
Mm-hmm.
All I got to say in the room is I am born to do God's will,
That's right.
and I am a man of peace.
That's right.
And when I say it that way, I'm reaching a lot more people.
Mhm.
You see, Trump bombed Iran, right?
That's right.
So the narrative is going to come that the Iranians is crazy, and
Mhm.
and they're extremists and all of the above, and they're Muslim terrorists, and
Mhm.
and Islam is violent. That will become the narrative to justify bombing them. But Iran loves God.
That's right.
They love God. They were born to do God's will, and they have never committed war on anyone.
Listen, we know the colonizers. They have gone throughout
Yes.
the global world and exacted war on every single one, even people that look like them.
And that's where Sean Combs made his mistake.
Mhm.
He became intoxicated with himself, and
And
his trial became money. And then the money gave him this false identity that I am God, because Puff can say be, and it is. So he wickedly, allegedly, wickedly, all right, we gonna freak off tonight.
yeah, he's
I don't want
demented.
to freak off, but
Who needs
because you
who
have the
needs that much sex
means,
in life anyway? Who needs
he,
that much sex in life anyway? It's
no, no,
bizarre.
no, 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 sis, it's bigger than that. What the point I'm making is he thought he was the
Yeah,
creator of the heavens and earth.
Yeah,
absolutely.
he got drunk off of his own success.
He got
Absolutely.
drunk, and now listen, respectfully in the room, I have not been tried with $1 million, $1 billion. I
I
haven't been
have
tried. I have not been tried with that.
I've been a
So,
millionaire, multimillionaire, and I'm still me.
but my point is that was his trial, and he failed miserably.
Hmm.
Because when you are blessed, blessing ain't always in money.
Oh, it's not.
But if you are blessed with that type of money, and you don't do something where humanity would have circled the courtroom,
Mhm.
humanity would have circled the courtroom.
That's right.
But we don't see nobody. You know how many people I know personally that were in those rooms when I was coming to them, working for Puff? I had one very close friend that was babysitted by that Muslim family who had a high position with this brother. And I'm going to give him a courtesy and not mention his name.
Mhm.
But I went to the office one day and this brother spazzed out. Yo, pulled me into a room. Sonny, you just can't pop up here, man. You just can't pop up here. I went down to Bad Boy.
Mhm.
And I'm watching him spaz out. And I allowed him to. When he finished, I said, brother, you finished? He I said, brother, Puff called me down here. Puff wanted to put a sign, a billboard down at the Ruckers in Harlem, and I put the deal together with these brothers that own the company, and Puff called me down here to pick up the check.
Mhm.
Oh. So
Mhm.
quietly in my spirit, and if that brother sees this, he knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Mhm. Mhm.
Fuck, can I cuss?
Absolutely. We free speech
Fuck
here,
you.
baby.
Fuck you.
We free
And I
speech.
wanted to say it that
100%.
day. I really wanted to knock his ass out
Mhm.
because you spazzing. Because, like, I never treated Puff like that.
Mhm.
Fuck him.
Mhm.
But he the one that called me down here, and you spazzing out, brother. I known you before him. Actually, I'm gonna go a step further. I met Puff for the first time from this brother. I'll go that far too. I'm not gonna say much
You
more.
know what that was too? He felt ownership of protecting Puffy because he heard things in rooms that you were not privy to.
No. I'm gonna take it a step further. He was
Mhm.
on the payroll. He was getting paid by Puff.
Absolutely, but
So
all the
so
more.
so now listen, there was a lot of brothers from the hood
Mhm.
that was visiting him unannounced. So maybe he had some of the pressure of that too. Because the hood, you know what happens when we become successful,
Mhm.
black people.
But I
We
don't
hear
think
it
it's
all the
that.
time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
hear
it's
it all
that.
the time.
I think he felt a duty to protect Puffy because he understood the weight of the whole city college thing, and he's in rooms where they be talking junk.
Well,
See,
guess
he
what?
knows
Guess
this
what?
dragging you out.
Guess what? I don't see him nowhere now.
Of course, of
He
course.
ain't he didn't go visit Manhattan, go to court.
Allah.
Honestly, I don't even know if they still communicate, but a lot of the pictures that we see on social media and all over the place, news and everywhere, that brother's in the picture. He's in the picture.
I believe it.
But he spazzed out. He spazzed out because I was at the office. Pulled me in a conference room because he thought that I was just popping up. Now I'm gonna say this too because I never said this either. But brother, if one day I'll talk to him. I never even spoke to that brother in all these years, 30-something years later. If anybody should pop up,
it's you.
It should be me. It should be me. And anybody that see me coming should clear the way.
Now, asheo to that. That is what I believe. Let me tell you something. That is the ilk that I am cut from. Don't get in my...
And I wasn't even on it like that.
But here's the deal. Talk your shit. We are here on our Father's business.
That's exactly.
I'm about my Father's business.
Listen,
okay?
You on the Dopest Nerd podcast, you heard Sonny Williams.
That's right.
Blow a little smoke.
Smoke.
You feel me? 34 years, nobody know who I am. But on Dopest Nerd, you heard Sonny Williams blow a little smoke from a childhood friend who defended him like that when I lost my sister.
They don't care.
Nigga. And I don't use that word lightly either.
I'll tell you who else. I got my foot on Jennifer Lopez's neck and I ain't taking it off. I got my foot on the gas on her neck and I'm not taking it off because she's another one. She brought the gun in the club and threw it out the speeding navigator. And then after that, maybe that was her sacrifice to go up. Her career skyrocketed after that.
I saw where they said where someone who was in the car where the gun landed on top of the car, he said a white
female's hand threw the gun out the window of the speeding navigator and it landed on his car. That was the driver of some escorts. And
now listen. J-Lo, I understand how you feel about J-Lo, right? Jessica Rosenbaum. Rosenberg, Baum.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
I know Jessica.
All these years, it was told that Jessica shut the door, and then the bodies pressed on the door because the doors entered into the stairwell. So we've heard that for years. I'm not going to mention on your platform the platform that I've seen her on.
You can mention it.
Mention it. No, I'm not doing it. Okay. Just the day before, I did yesterday. Matter of fact, I seen him with Jessica on there.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, because he has a
tell me off the air because I want to see it.
Yes, I will. I for the first time in 34 years, I seen her questioned about that on this dude's platform.
What did she have to say?
And this is what she said. She said all these. Now she really didn't want to deal with it. She said, well, after all these years, I've been hearing that I shut the door and that I promoted the event. She said I did not promote the event. She said she was actually scheduled to go on a vacation out of town. Puffy called and asked her because Puffy and Hev couldn't agree to having a mediator or someone from Hev's side, some from Puff's side to collect that money. So they both trusted Jessica. So they asked Jessica to hold down the money at their door for the city college stamp situation.
Which means they didn't trust each other.
Well, that's a testimony that I'd never heard, right? But I'm hearing it yesterday for the first time in 34 years.
Wow.
And never hearing from Jessica. Jessica was not in. Jessica mentioned in this interview that she did get interviewed by the DA or whoever, right? But she was not involved with the case. I know that for a fact. So that was the first time I heard that. So she said she hired 3 girls to collect the money, and she supervised the girls, didn't go on her trip, to hold down the door for them. She said when things did get unruly, she was concerned about the 3 girls, and then the 3 girls and herself went down the stairs. She said, but the doors were always closed, that they will open and close them to filter people in. She said when she got in with the 3 girls and the money, they went into the locker room and stayed there. She never came back out with the 3 girls, so she don't know who allegedly shut that door when the stampede occurred. She didn't see them pulling the bodies through. She stayed in the locker room with the 3 girls and the money. So she cleared that up because Jason Swain is Dirk Swain's brother. Dirk Swain.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
The hackation is back. Lord.
Wow.
Sonny? We could see your thing, but your whatchamacallit is black. I don't know if you can still hear us. Text him and see if he can still hear us. That's craziness. Let me throw the link so he could come back up. That's crazy. But why would she stay quiet all these years and allow her name to be associated with something like that? Why? I would never allow people to falsely create a narrative of me saying I was a part of something that I wasn't a part of. Because then you have a whole, energy it never dies. It just transmutes and transfers. So why would you allow the energy of all these people who lost loved ones? Okay. Here he's back. Wait, where's the thing for me to add him? He's back, but I don't even see the banner that says add him to the stage. Oh, there we go.
Okay, sorry about that.
There we go.
I got a phone call.
Sonny?
Yeah.
Okay. We call that the hackation. Over here on this channel, they hacked me. My whole nerd herd knows this is called the hackation. Yeah.
I tried to put the airplane mode, but it wasn't giving me the internet. So I got to figure this stuff out. For sure, later on, we'll talk and you tell me how this works, so I don't inconvenience the
No, you good.
I got you. All you gotta do is swipe down on the top of your phone real quick and just turn on do not disturb. You good to
do
go.
not disturb. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
do not disturb.
Of course, now I don't see it.
From that top corner. The hackation is.
Yeah, now I don't see that.
Well, let me tell you something.
Let me just do this so we can finish. And hope nobody else should be calling me this late.
Okay.
I kind of knew he was going to call. All right, so yeah, so I'll give when we hang up. For sure can give you my number and I'll tell you where Jessica did that. Okay. Now Jason Swain, when they attempted to do a City College segment in all of these different documentaries, when you Google it, all of his work comes up. So when Jason Swain got contacted by all of these people, that's how they got in contact with me. So Jason just went on Law and Order recently.
Wow.
Not the podcast guy.
Law and Crime.
Law and Crime. So you can go watch that.
Okay.
So Jason over the years, he didn't share this in that podcast, but Jason over the years will bump into Puff. He was a few years younger than me and Puff, and will be like City College 9, like just scream on him, and try to do his documentary, and was getting blocked.
Me too.
Dougie Fresh, Al Sharpton, all of these people that was front and center with us. Now we seeing them at the white party. Now Dougie Fresh is hosting his comedy show. So now Dougie don't want to talk about City College no more. Dougie bumps into Jason Swain and literally disses the brother. Disses him. Now, I'm the first to say it. Jason, I don't think, said that on a large platform yet. But I'm saying it right here. Because now I got listen, I love Dougie up until he told me, like, he straight dissed him. Almost to say, listen, man, I'm trying to get my money. That's what Dougie just should have said. Listen, I'm trying to get this money. So I ain't entertaining the CCNY 9. Now you go Google all of that back in the days. Who was the most vocal? Dougie Dan Fresh. So you got another pop off from Sonny Williams. That's the second one.
Drop
That's
all
the second one. I gave you two. I gave you two. I gave you two.
Drop all the gems, brother.
I gave you two because Sonny been real. Sonny locked in, raised them 2 babies, made 3 more.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Married 35 years.
Congratulations.
Or you know what I mean? 27 years. I'm a CO. Like I'm the police.
Are you still there?
Still
Are you still
there.
Okay.
Still there. Trying to get out.
I hear that.
Maybe got 2 more years. Maybe I'll do 30 and I'm out.
Okay.
But my children are grown. Now listen, Roger Bonds. Oh man, he just hit me up. He just hit me up just now. I seen it on top of my joint.
Oh wow.
Now I didn't know Roger when he was working with Puff. But Puff's driver was my dojo brother.
Okay.
And he drove for him for 16 years. I wasn't even gonna give you this, but Roger just responded. So when I hang up with you, I got to deal with him. But drove for Puff for 16 years. Before he drove for Puff, he called me. I said, brother, get that money, man, and take care of your family, but do not tell Puff you know me. I bumped into this brother over the years. He's taken Justin to football practice in Mount Vernon. My mother bought a house eventually in Mount Vernon. And that brother just passed away literally a week and a couple of days ago.
Wow.
We're burying that brother on Friday.
May he
So
rest
Roger Bonds put up the funeral arrangements for this brother, and that's what made me reach out to Roger Bonds earlier today. So literally in real time, Roger Bonds responded back.
Wow.
So I couldn't read it all because it came and disappeared. So I'm sharing that with you, that I'm showing you integrity and character.
Of course.
That I told that brother, you go eat. In 16 years, he drove for Puff. And while he was working for Puff, he was losing things, working crazy overtime and not getting the money. About to lose his house. Puff ain't give him the money.
That's crazy. That is.
I bumped into the brother taking Justin to football practice, and he needed $10 to put gas in the truck.
That's craziness. They're energy harvesters. They harvest people's energy.
That's 3. That's 3 powerful bombs. That I wasn't. Now the brother called me when he seen me in the documentary. The brother who I'm talking about. He called me when he seen me in the documentary and told me he's not gonna do. He got several phone calls. He said, "Son, I ain't gonna do it because I don't know what angle they really going at." He said, "Son, you know my story with the brother, but I'm not even gonna entertain that." So the brother kept doing what he had to do, and he also became security for Kanye, Ye, and Kim.
Okay.
So So the brother's known in the industry. And he got that job after Puff. So my point is, the Truth Hurts and connecting Puffy, Diddy disasters, and the dots.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Like, he literally, my man took the job, didn't tell him he knew me, and in real time, I'm watching him violate my man, who would give us life.
The devil got love for nobody. The devil has love for no one.
Yeah, so this podcast that me and you doing right now is not hate.
No, this is truth.
It's
exactly what I said. Truth hurts, connecting the dots. That's what it is.
It's testimony.
And listen,
it's just straight actual fact.
No test, no testimony.
Me and you should have a far different story.
We should. We should have a far different story.
Puffy did the right thing.
No,
Puffy put my children through college. There's statues at City College. The Sonia Seas Foundation have put millions of kids through college in the past 34 years. Puffy paid for my surgery to have these fragments removed. He put me through therapy. I don't want for anything.
Nah.
And the reason that our story is not that is because this was a ritual sacrifice, and you cannot play both sides of the fence. That's carnality. That's double-mindedness. You cannot serve two masters.
I'm taking that sister to the prayer room.
He knows the master he serves.
I'm taking that to the prayer room.
All right. I just want to sum it up with this here. You got to look at people's track records. When he first came out the gate, he was on shady stuff. So the problem that everybody got to thinking was, and I'm not talking about y'all because y'all victim of circumstances, but most people that dealt with this dude and got done dirty, y'all looking at the track record and each person going to it thinking, this is not going to be me. When the two people that put him on did them dirty, when B.I.G. passed, you kept all the publishing, all the money, didn't take care of the family like you were supposed to. The Locks was fortunate to get away in Mace. Mace had a double dutch back and forth, play with the religion. Not to, you know what I'm saying, in sort of speak.
He had to turn to God to get away.
He had a double dutch in religion to get away from him. Come back like, man, he's still guy. I got to get away. So every artist that did something to him was either gone or locked up or it broke. So I don't understand how people keep getting in this train and keep thinking it's not going to be me when the man hasn't displayed anything that shows you he's changed or he learned from his previous mistakes. He's only showing you I'm getting worse because the behavior that I'm displaying is accepted because I'm bringing so much money. So when he decided I'm about to sue these people, now all that stuff that you're doing with them parties, that's not acceptable no more. So yeah, that stuff that you saying, the rituals and all that stuff, I agree 1,000%. He was allowed to get away with that. But once he decided to go to the people and say, I won't sue y'all for what y'all did about that liquor, no, now you went too far.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. And here's the thing. What you've described is the very same thing I always describe about crackheads. If everybody knows smoking crack will turn you inside out, why does the next person say, you know what? I know my whole neighborhood is decimated, but it's not going to happen to me. Let me try. Every time somebody new picks that pipe up and says, I'm going to do it, won't happen to me. And it does. And the next one says, well, that was them. That was all 50 million of them people, but I'm different. Same thing. The master, the Lord of Lords and King of Kings and the God we serve, he does not serve the same God. He does not. And he thought he was doing something. You know, he has a Haitian deity on his back. That big tattoo is a Haitian deity that is the patron saint of women and children. Dummy. Why is that what you put on your back? And I'm going to tell you something dirty he did. It came to my attention. I had seen the tattoo, and like just like you said, we see things connected to him, we're triggered. So help me God. Do you know he went back, the first incarnation of the tattoo, he went back and had something put on the nose of the tattoo, right where I got shot, like a scar. I said, this man is the devil. He be doing things to gaslight people. He's the gaslighter in chief. Why did you have to go back after the fact and get a scar added to the nose of the tattoo on your back? He's demented. He is gaslighting at every chance. Nothing he did concerning you was sincere. The offer of the job, the 50,000, every single thing he did was to further drag it out, to keep 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He was hoping that he could get you to enjoin and ensnare with him, because guess what? Then he would in the court say, he trying to play both sides of the fence. I gave him money. Didn't I give you money? He was trying to do this to you. None of his connections to you was ever sincere. Nothing. It is all the devices of the wicked and the enemy. And that's why God didn't let them prosper. Offense may come, but woe unto him from whence it comes. All of his stuff was the devices of the wicked, and God was not going to let him prevail over y'all. You had already paid a price that could never be redeemed. Your sister's life. God said, oh no, you won't dip back into this bucket.
Or it could be the alternate. He helping people run out of money.
Say it again.
I said, or it could be the alternate also, that he hoping that people run out of money and they can't fight it.
Oh, absolutely. That was his number one thing. That's why he drags it. Mine was 12 years. You know how much I paid for legal defense? You know how much of my settlement went to my attorneys? Hey. And yet I still was a multimillionaire. So what does that say? And I didn't get anything near what I was entitled to. I didn't get anything near what I was entitled to. You hear Gene Dean, and I call, I have my feelings about Gene Dean. I call him 2 truths and 7 lies. Because that sucker will look in the camera and be like, yeah, because the time, first of all, this man was a probation officer. There is a level of intellect that comes with having to have certain jobs. However, I will watch him get onto a platform and act like he don't know what words mean. And he'd be like, yeah, because that time we was at the show and we walked in and I seen him put the pills in the girls' bottles. Soon as you see that head go up, baby, here come your 7 lies. Here they come. Look at all his videos. I'm telling you, if Gene is looking in the camera and he goes, the next thing is a lie. And so is the other 6 things that follow. I've studied him. I'm a psychology major. I've studied him. I've been watching him since he was in the schoolyard on the monkey bars, sitting in the monkey bars, making videos. Since he was on Doggy Diamonds and all those back in the days. I've been watching Gene the whole time. Remember, anything connected to Puffy, as much as we can't stand him, we on it. Because it's directly tied intrinsically to our forever. We can't escape it. So when he started talking, I was on it immediately. Plus, I've been on YouTube since the beginning. So we was on it. Back when it was faux pas for him to talk about Puffy. When people's like, oh, he's just a hater. He was a little more sincere back then. But you see, when more people, more eyes got on it and more, he goes on certain platforms all the time because they pay. Oh, baby. Oh, 2 truths and 7 lies, baby. Because I had a shoe on my right foot and a shoe on my left foot. He make it. How could you go on one platform 99 times? How much stories you got to tell? He is the ever-growing storyteller because they're paying him. It's not enough to just tell your story. But now, if you've tied your livelihood to getting those breadcrumbs from these things, I watched this man on Art of Dialogue, where I had my infamous first big thing on Art of Dialogue. Everybody, that thing went mega viral. I watched Gene not that long ago sit on Art of Dialogue say, yeah, because with the shine thing. And Art said, Mighty, he said, huh? What thing? The case with the shine thing. He kept playing like, who? What? Sucker Gene, you've been reaching out to me, sucker. I got the text messages. Why you acting like you don't know who I am? Even you have been told not to mention my name? The thing with the club and he says, at the show. It was no show. It wasn't no show. This man got more stories about things that he wasn't available for and not the things he was presently there for. We've seen images of Gene in parties with them standing on film. He'll never talk about those. He only talk about all the cases he wasn't there for. All of a sudden, Club New York was a show. What show? Who performed? He would not say, when Natanya got shot. Oh, the thing was Shine, the show, Mighty kept saying, huh? Why wouldn't you say, Natanya Rubin, the lady you interviewed on your platform that got shot by Puff? Gene is a double agent. I don't trust him. He's a double agent. He talking about both sides of his mouth.
The alert I just got.
What is that?
Ticket TV. Gene Deal just got exposed.
Hey, what? Hallelujah! Come on, Father God, show out
right now. That's crazy.
Show out like you do for me, Lord, because your humble servant, baby. Listen here. When I was young, I used to say I'm too fly to lie. I had to get an ass whipping for that, but I took it. One mother can ask me a question. As much as the truth hurts, I say what a TI is. People don't like the truth. Our brother El Haj Malik El Shabazz said, people will love a lie and hate the truth.
Yeah.
Did he not? For those who don't know Malcolm X. But I'm going to call the man what he say he is.
He did exposed. That's wild.
Look at the timing.
I'm going to say this about Gene, Big Gene. I spoke to Big Gene because one of Wolf's mother's close friends, these are older brother. Wolf's mother's close friend is a martial art brother who came up in the Bronx with the brothers that taught me. So he saw Gene talking about City College. So he connected Gene with me because he knows the brothers that taught me the martial arts, the elders. So I get on the phone, I'm talking to Gene, and I'm explaining an incident. I didn't talk about this incident in this interview, but I explained the incident that occurred with the last meeting that I had with Puff. Gene related that meeting to something that happened to him and Puff in California.
Two truths and 7 lies.
It wasn't confirmed that they were connected because I told Gene
that don't matter to him.
Yeah, let me go holler at my brother and see if those two things was connected. Gene went on his podcast and connected it himself.
Of course.
And he didn't mention my name or anything, but because I just spoke to him, I knew exactly what he was talking about. But the viewers didn't. But it is what it is, man. So
you believe Gene's narrative, his mental acuity and his memory grows every day because he sure got a new they need to just make all their thumbnails in advance and have 72 shows made for Gene because he's gonna have a new story on each show.
Well, the brother in question that I called, I told him go watch the podcast because he's talking about you. And the brother just laughed it off because he'd been watching Gene. So the brother just laughed it off, and I laughed it off with him. But I tried to call Gene a couple of times after that, and I forget why brother never won't pick up the phone.
Of course not, because it doesn't match his. Listen, the only time he'll take your call is if there's something else for him to. Do y'all remember a commercial? It was a man. It was I think it was like a auto insurance commercial. And he said, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and he had the fishing rod, and he was like, "You got to be quicker than that." And she tried to snatch the money off the edge of the fishing rod. That's Gene. There's a fishing rod with money hanging on it, and he's steady trying to snatch that money out the air. And that's where all these new stories come.
Yeah, I just want to say this. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to work in a second. I just want to say this real quick about the Genius situation.
Mm-hmm.
You was hanging around this man in 1996. Your claim to fame was all the stuff that happened around the Biggie situation.
Mm-hmm.
How is it 2025 and you're still talking about this man like he was a security in 2010s?
Mm-hmm. He claimed he went back for a little
Where
bit.
all these stories coming from? Because like I said earlier, if you see the track record of this person doing all this stupid shit, I don't give a damn if you're security, wherever you are, no one is exempt. So even if he did go back, that's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve whatever the hell you got because he plays you the first time.
You're 100% right.
You got to start looking at people's track record and quit thinking that I'm special, I'm exempt. No, you're not. No one is exempt, and no one is special than another person.
That's right. And in the Bible, it said, God is no respecter of person.
Yes. And so the man's respected nothing. So that's the biggest problem that a lot of people is having with him. Everybody is going to him thinking there is going to be the one that changes his mind. No, you're just going to be the one to inflate the ego because he's going to do it to you, you're going to accept it, and the ego going to keep rising.
And here's something that I always say, because that's why I always infer and refer to the City College 9 when I'm talking on. I said, listen, it is not lost on me that he did it. The City College 9 had their lives taken from them, which gave him his trajectory to grow. And 8 years later, he then attempted to take my life, which gave him the street credibility and helped his career go through the roof to be able to exact the level of demonic abilities against all these people that's on trial now. See, everybody that's been victimized by him for the last 25 years had a justifiable reason to be afraid because they watched him shoot me in my face and get away with it. They watched him take your sister's life and get away with it, and 8 other people. All it did was give this shiny suit, high-stepping Kwame and those effing polka dots jumping around, Gumby slope haircut wearing clown the ability to get street credibility. See, people try to act like he was from the streets. Nah. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. Listen, I'm a middle-class child. I grew up in Brooklyn, Caribbean family. My mother used to say, why do you go hang out with those kids in the project? First and foremost, I felt like they were realer than the middle-class kids I was hanging out with. The kids in the projects were just real. They were just who they was. No pretentiousness. We go look for that because some of us, rare ones of us, see that we're in an illusion situation where people are in love with materialism and status and position and all that. There was something so pure about kids that was in the projects that knew everybody else's situation, and it was what it was. Puffy is not he's a middle-class kid that wanted street cred, and he got it by taking lives and shooting people in the face. That's how he got it. He got it on the back of Sonia and the others and on the back of me. And that is why he is in this position today. So for all these people in the world and all these content creators that be, let it go, get over yourself, telling me how to feel, telling you how to feel. Nah, I don't care. They could post 900 times a day. They'll never outdo our voice.
Let's do a part 2. Same title. Truth Hurts, connecting the Puffy / Diddy disaster dots.
I'm all in.
A part 2. And we can, once we go back to watch this, we can read a lot of the comments.
That's right.
And then engage the people with questions, comments, and concerns.
Listen to me.
And then hopefully we can build from this platform, man, to continue to keep memories alive and bring justice to the, I don't even want to use the word I want to use, effery.
That's right. Use it. Fuckery.
Yeah, the
Written
effery
word, we are
of
done.
these intoxicated individuals
That's right.
who abuse blessings.
That's right.
So I want to thank you, sis.
You're welcome. Let me tell you something. Let me say this to both of you. Your invitation here is open and endless.
Appreciate it.
Anytime. We are
Huh?
absolutely going to do a part 2. But we'll do a
Huh?
part 900 because your invitation, you home. This is your home.
Thank you.
Anytime. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care if you wake up and you had a rough dream and you need to talk about it. Come here, brother. You
Thank you.
can call
Thank
me,
you.
either one of y'all. Y'all can call me at any time, and this platform is available to you at any time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely,
Appreciate it.
unequivocally. I appreciate
Sonny,
you. I am
I
in
appreciate
honor,
it.
humbled.
Sir,
Thank you
I
for,
thank you for
for
letting us grace your platform. Sonny, you already know how I'm rocking with you. I appreciate it for doing it. Hey, I called you and you said you was down to do it, and we here. So
Yes,
That's
I
sir.
right.
appreciate it. And yeah, this was great. My whole thing was just sit back and just let y'all vibe out and talk. I didn't want to interject. I could sit back and just listen. So that was
Mm.
my whole thing. I just wanted to bring y'all together. And I know me by doing what I do, I knew the conversation was gonna go organically. So that's why I just
Mm.
pulled back and just let y'all just roll. So it went exactly like I thought it would. So I
And never
appreciate it.
feel like you can't interject. This is your house too, and you are part of this family. You are a
Oh yeah,
vessel of
yeah.
God too. You brought us
But
together.
see, but the thing is, me and Sonny had a 3 hour conversation. And then we took questions for a while. So me and Sonny, we did a lot of talking. Then the other day, me and you did a lot of talking.
Mhm.
Y'all never met. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna let y'all talk. I don't need, you know what I mean? I got the thing for both of y'all, but this is all of us together. So
The
I
more
talk more.
me and her talk, more things is gonna come out
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
because we were from that era. We was right there.
That's right.
Because a lot of things that I've heard her say over the years, like I said, I
Mhm.
had direct confirmation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we got to do probably
Absolutely.
part two,
Yes.
three, four,
And
five.
we got to talk and have our relationship offline too.
Yeah,
There's a whole relationship that y'all are my brothers forever
yeah,
offline.
Appreciate it.
We
Appreciate
can
absolutely.
come online and do whatever, but y'all my brothers forever. I want to be able to call y'all because we're supposed to have strong men in our corner. We don't.
Mm.
Women, black women are the most uncovered people in the world. You hear
it.
what
Yep.
I tell you?
Yes,
Yep.
They
yes,
say black women's aggressive. Black women. That aggression is by default. We don't want to
yes.
be this. I
That's
got on
right.
a sundress. I always want to put on a sundress and stick a flower in my hair. I want to be the
That's right.
softest, most delicate person in the room, but I don't have the option of being that when I got to stand up and put on my breastplate of manhood to protect myself from these demons out here. I
Mm.
feel blessed that God gave me two brothers. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Appreciate you.
All right. I'll talk
Indeed.
to y'all soon.
Okay.
I
For
appreciate
sure.
it.
Please forward my number to her.
I got
Absolutely.
I got
And vice versa. Mine too.
all
Okay.
right, I got y'all. I'll
All
see
right.
y'all.
Good night.
Good night, brothers. I'm so proud. Oh my God, I'm so humbled. Whoo, child. My God. What an amazing show. What an amazing show. I am so honored that God allowed this to happen. What an amazing show. Oh my God. Child. What an amazing show. You see, I got my little friend right here, y'all, because, these hot flashes. What an amazing show. What are y'all thoughts? Give me some feedback. I know y'all were talking amongst yourself, but give me some feedback. Oh my God. My God, my God, my God. Long time coming. I've been watching Sonny for years, fighting the good fight, doing what he do, interviews. I've been watching him for years. I feel so full of God right now. I can't. I'm so thankful to Dominique from For Show TV for connecting us, for making this happen. I'm so thankful to Locked for going forth and going out there to do her new Locked West in Peace girl mojo and going out and finding this platform. This is all God's doing. Oh my gosh. Woo, you got your fan too, Jay? My God. I cannot tell you all of the energy that's running inside of me. Wow. Crates of Junior said, I love it. I was living across from CCNY when it happened. Wow. Locke said, I'm so fortunate to be a part of this. Cook's Crate said, menopause is a bee. She sure is. She sure is. Enjoy your evening, Sonny, and for sure. He worked it out. God, let it be explained. Absolutely. Look at all the connections that were made. Jay said, salute to our sister Locked. Asheo, salute to Locked. Yes, indeed. This was all a result of her going out and doing the work. Locked was calling me. She was like, sis, I'm going on shows. I'm going out here to the world. I'm telling you, I'm going to make this happen. Da, da, da. She literally did it. And I'm so pleased. Oh, I read that one. Sorry. Dana V said, love the parallel he made between different religions and saying it's a message are in harmony with one another. So powerful. Absolutely, indeed. Absolutely. This conversation had to happen. Hey, Carla. Carla said, Asheo! Give Granny a kisses for me. Lovely Cherokee said, awesome, informative live stream. Blessings, peace, love continuously on the platform. The dopest nerd, Miss N. Love your spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Thank you so much, lovely Cherokee. These personal summers are no joke. Yes, Troy to the world. Baby, they trying to get me. My sister. What up, Jaggy Jag? Oh, thank you, my love. She said, at the dopest nerd, heart to fire. Beautiful billowing hearts. Righteous hand. Carrots. I don't know what the other thing is. It's showing up as 3 lines. I love you, sis. Monique Lovett said, when your notifications popped up on my phone, it was a spirit calling to get on. Asheo. Willie Gross said, carrots. Thank you, Willie. How you doing, my brother? Call 911 said, really? That's probably a part of another conversation that I am not privy to. It's somewhere in the chat. Patricia Blair. How did this thing jump like this? Hold on. Where's the chat went? What happened? Okay. Excuse me. Patricia Blair said, Holy Spirit's divine appointment. Absolutely. Lisa Bruno, awesome live. Can't wait for more with them. Call 911. Laughy face. Yam J said, carrots. I always use that circular start. Exclamation points and fist. Keisha says, it was heavy, but I felt he would mess him around with that offer. It was deceptive from the gate. Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Got the floor fan going, child. You got to, Monique. Baby, these private summers ain't no joke. Lovely Cherokee said, carrots with praying hands. Michi said, yes. Cherie said, awesome live. Thank you. Mocha B said, it's amazing. What up, Mocha? Weston, please, praying hands, please, God. Guys, throw some love and throw some blue butterflies in the chat for Locked. She made this happen. She made this happen. I'm telling you. Jay Mizak said, yes, 100. Lovely Cherokee. Everyone in the chat, love, praying hands, smile. I remember hearing the promotion of CCNY on the radio as I was going to school. Yeah, I remember it too, vividly. Rest in pieces. Carrots. And infinity, I guess, or is that a number 8? God is awesome. Yes, he is. Won't he do it? Jag said 10 more likes before we go. Thanks. Hey, Asheo. Thank you, sis. Carla Turner, I will at the dopest. Y'all give love to the dopest mod in the land. When I tell you, we don't just talk on this live, we talk offline. And when I tell you, I think I missed a few super chats, guys. Charge it to my head and not my heart. It wasn't intentional. Rest in peace. Say use the reaction emojis. Use the reaction emoji at the bottom right to help Natanya get this story into the algorithm. Dana V said, yes, Jag, glad to see you here. Lovely Cherokee, yes, Lord. Rest in peace, I love you all. Uh-oh, call 911 brought in the hackation. Is that what call 911 is doing, trying to bring the hackation? We rebuked it, but it didn't get far. Shalom Shaw said at Dana V, that part. Rest in peace said the chat was crunk. Oh, it was? I missed it. Dana V, hey family. I wish I could have seen the crunkness. There was so much info. I'm so happy for you. You are where God's part 2. You are. Where's part 2? Glowing Natanya. Fan is lime green. I got a lime green one too. Nirvana got that one. Well, no, it's not lime green. It's more like a tealish lime. Hey West. Barbara Williams, great show. Dana V, I like that. Yam J said, Natanya, love and light. Enjoyed you as always. Thank you, my love. Here come them blue butterflies, honey. Blue butterflies, blue butterflies. All this love for Locked. I'm telling you, Locked made this happen. We owe this to Locked. She made it happen. She was out there getting it in. You hear me? When I tell you, we were on the phone every time you turn around. Locked was like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You guys make sure you go. Those who haven't, make sure you get on your phone. Look up West N Peace. West, the letter N, Peace. Let's give some love to Locked. She started a channel, guys. Let's follow her channel. She's making things happen. She's out here doing her thing. And I love it. I'm super proud of her. She is the dopest mod in the land. And guess what? Guess who got a new mod position? Hey, I'm Locked's mod. Hey, and I learned from the best. So y'all take your time with me while I'm being a moderator, child, because you know I don't know how to do it, but I'm learning. I'm gonna learn how to do it. Look at the Black Barbie. Hey, look at all them butterflies. Yes, girl. Hey, Archangel Michael, I love you. I love you so much. Going live when you finish, my sister family. Don't cross those streams. Locked, you're a legend. Asheo. I'll be over there. We'll be over there, guys. Let's head over to his channel afterwards. Whoever's going live, let us know. Rest in peace said, I see you, fam. Jaguar said, butterflies are the... Shalom said, butterfly. Lovely Cherokee, you're so welcome. You're definitely anointed, God's child. Why, thank you. Archangel Michael said Dana. Butterflies from Monique. What up, Shushu? ¿Cómo ça va? What's the deal, boo? Archangel, hey, said Yam J. I have been watching Just Busy, fam. Indeed. We all out here trying to get the donuts, trying to make the donuts. Lovely Cherokee, God connects his children. Absolutely, unequivocally. I love how our dopest nerd reads the comments. That's right. All of y'all got something to say. It's important to me. Thanks again. Have a great night. Lovely Cherokee is my number one mod. Asheo. For Show TV, my brother. This is my brother forever. You hear me? When I tell you, I knew he was good people from the very moment I went on that show. And Locked already said it. Lisa Bruno, you outsmarted the hackation tonight. You think we did? We sure did, girl. West in Peace said, grown-ass people acting like children. Something I missed, but I guess I catch up. Salome Shah. For the hateration and the hackeration. Hey, yes, indeed. Lovely Cherokee. I've been there, hot flashes. Girl, these hot flashes trying to take me out. At For Show TV, thank you for this, big bro. I'm so honored. Willie Gross said, blue butterflies. Patricia West, laughing face. And blue butterflies, honey. West in Peace. This is the link, guys, for the West in Peace YouTube channel. Make sure you follow our girl Locked. Shalom said blue heart. Michelle said, oh, my fan is teal, not lime green. Listen, baby. When that menopause hit, them colors start to fade. We don't know. When them colors start to fade. Lovely Cherokee said blue butterfly. Lovely Cherokee with more butterflies. Cherie with the butterflies. Yam J with the fist. Hey. Carla Turner with the power fist, praying, carrots. Hallelujah. Rejoicing fingers. I love it, guys. Yay. Patricia. Archangel with the carrots and the blue butterflies. Thank you. West in Peace said, Natanya Rubin is my mod. Ah! Lovely Cherokee said, Jag, nice seeing you. Keisha, what I always say, y'all, it ain't no party if we ain't got a Keisha in the house. What up, Keisha? She said, oh, at Natanya, I went to 4 platforms while live asking why not bringing up Natanya Rubin up in your platform or stories. All I got was crickets. I know, boo. They prove it. They telling on themselves, boo. They are telling on themselves. I had somebody come, oh, I thought you were supposed to be a woman of light and you're telling people to go to people's page and do super chats. I said, yes, because giving money to other creators is abusive. Okay, what else? What are you saying now? They just had to shut up and go away because they realized how ridiculous they sounded. You mad at me for people blessing other people's channels? A super chat is a super chat. You're not saying anything harmful. What's the problem? Because they're telling on themselves. But that's all right, because I had a spiritual guide come and tell me that I thought it was just a few people. I told Lock, verify this if I'm telling the truth or not. Because I like to cite my sources. I had a spiritual guide come and tell me a group of 10 got together to conspire against me. I was like, 10? I didn't even know it was that many. I knew it was a YouTube mafia, but I didn't know it was 10 of them. I was like, well, who's the other ones? They got together to conspire against me, but that God is turning them inside out, and they're all quaking in their boots now because they're afraid for what they did. They're afraid that they were a part of it, and God is giving them back. They are getting exactly what they deserve for what they've done to me. It's like, hey, it's that ain't nothing good gonna come to you till you do right by me. They'll learn. Michelle with the butterflies. Kiki Eyes. Hey, Archangel Michael. Kelvina Moore. Just want to say good evening. Got here a little late, but I always enjoy your streams. Thank you, my love. You know you can always get on the replay gang, baby. Kiki Eyes, said Archangel. West in Peace. Good night, family. Stay safe and come hang out on my page when you get a chance. Shushu. Hey, Natanya. Amazing live. So many dots connected. Indeed, indeed. Hey, boo. West in Peace. Use the reaction emojis at the bottom right. Shalom. Good night, everyone. Michael, hi, family. Thank you. Going so fast. You're awesome. Thank you. West in Peace put the For Show Church TV on For Show TV. Make sure you go on Sunday and participate if you so choose. But definitely visit his channel and like and subscribe. Subscribe to his channel. We love Natanya Nerd Herd. Cherie Little Wilkes. Thank you, Cherie. We love you too. Jaguar, my sis, have a great one in the studio. See you all soon. Okay, guys, we get ready to go over there and go to the live. Lovely Cherokee. Natanya, that's beautiful. You both communicate. Indeed. We talk all the time. Me and Locke be on the phone all the time. Yay, thanks for the 100 likes. Let's keep it going. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. Let's hop on over. Y'all know where to go. Follow the other lives. Everybody like each other's all of the TV, all the channels we've highlighted. Please like and subscribe. Please show love. Please show love. Jags, oh, I'm sorry. Joy to the World said, "Hey, Locked, put the link up for your channel. I can't find it. It's West, the letter N, and peace. Not I-N, but just the letter N." Lovely Cherokee said, "Oh, wow, for show TV. Thank you. I'm only listening. We love y'all here." Locked, Dana also said, "Locked, repost the link on your channel again, please. It doesn't show up through searching on its own." Locked, aka West in Peace, put the link up. Joy to the World, West in Peace YouTube channel. Y'all get on that. Jay Mizek said, 10 Lord sounds like my family. Yeah, 10 people. 10 people gathered together. I was like, 10? I thought it was just 3 or 4 of them. 10. I said, my gosh, for little old me? For little old me? Archangel Michael said, Jag, your dedication to the cause is outstanding. That's my sister, baby. That's my sister. 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 Lisa said, yes, I went to a few platforms too. I got nothing. I think my comments got hidden or deleted. I couldn't find them. Indeed, because it proved what I said and they told on themselves. Joy to the World said, never mind, I got it. Sarah said, Jay Mizik said 11:11. Sarah said, great interview. Jag said, it's more than that, sis. Asheo. Lovely Cherokee, fans don't work. Listen, I got that fan and that air. West in Peace said at Dana V, it's because I'm not even a week old yet. This is the link. Monique Lovett said, I'm in shock about Dougie though, shaking my head. Listen, nothing shocks me anymore. I have been through too much to be shocked, but it is shocking, especially when this is not your firsthand experience. Stuff like you don't believe these people would conduct themselves like this. Yeah, people make strange alliances, strange bedfellows. Not for long, I'll be there, said Dana. Cook's Crate. I ain't leaving without Natanya giving her love. Oh, here I go. Let me give my love. Let me give my love. Well, you know tomorrow, please God. Y'all know my faithful, as always, God. As always, guys, thank you for being here. I couldn't have done it without you. This is an amazing, I am on a natural high. Trust and believe. God is in the business of doing the work and making it happen, connecting souls, giving recompense to people who have been wronged. Listen, I know the pain of having lived for 25 years with the indignity of being shot in the face, but I couldn't even imagine the pain of having lost your sister at the expense of this man and the other 8 people. May their souls forever rest in peace. Sonia Williams, we're going to say her name. We're going to say her name. And tomorrow, please God, we will come back again, guys. I love you all. Let's hop over to the other lives. I love you all. Asheo, and we out of here. Let me put my I love y'all all in the chat. Tomorrow, please God, we will reconvene and make it happen again. Hashtag remember Sonia Williams, City College 9, and all of the City College 9. Tomorrow, please God.